Hello and welcome. Today I want to talk about pets, specifically American pets. So, how many of you remember President Obama's dog? I think his name was Bo. He had long curly hair, was fluffy, just he wanted to go up and hug him and snuggle like a big uh, teddy bear. And so many Americans were excited when President Joe Biden announced that he would be bringing back dogs back to the White House with his two German Shepherds. And many presidents, from when John Adams first moved into the White House, have brought pets with them: cats, dogs, sheep, horses, for hundreds of years. And so this leads to a feeling that owning a pet is something that is important to us as Americans. We get very excited about our presidential pets. And while owning a pet isn't something that's distinctly American, it is something that is very American and something that many Americans get very excited about. However, that leads to another question. Has the US taken pet ownership to the extreme? The answer to this question is yes. Americans have taken pet ownership to the extreme because of the sheer number of pets that they own, the amount that they spend on their pets, and the types of pets that they have. So I want to explore these 3 points and dive deeper into them and look at some of the statistics behind those points of pet ownership. So, starting, the number of pets in the United States is too high. Spots.com gave the statistics of a pet owner study November 27th, 2020, and it found that 67% of American households in 2020 have pets. That's 84.9 million houses, and in raw numbers of pets, of cats, dogs, and birds, only those 3 pets, that's 142.6 million pets. That's nearly half of the US human population. So your response to me may be, so what? We have a lot of pets. I like my pets. And I'd say, yes, that's good. We do have a lot of pets. That's okay. However, it needs to be put in perspective. So that number and that percentage of pets is growing. So in 1986, only 56% of households had pets. That's a percentage growth of 11% over 34 years. Now, when you compare that to from Statistica.com on November 29th, 40% of US households have children. So there are more households that have pets than have children and families in them. PetFoodIndustry.com, leading us to another statistic about the sheer number of pets that are owned in the United States, April 7th, 2017, found that in 2016, millennials overtook boomers for the number of pets that they owned. And so millennials and the percentage of overall pets that are owned. So millennials own 35% of all pets in the United States, pushing the number of pets from 2015 to 2016 from 79.6 million pets to 84.6 million. And so young people prioritize their pets and get more pets, and this is wonderful. However, it's when compared with the perspective and priorities of a society as a whole, it's fluctuating things. So 84% of millennials say that they look to their pets as a source of affection and comfort, which is wonderful. Pets do provide that. However, it's pushing millennials who are already known for not getting settled down, not getting married, not having kids, away from a family structure and delaying the growth of families and the population in the United States. So it's not bad, but a balance between social and intimacy and family life and pets needs to be made. So if pet ownership is growing and the percentage share of households that is growing, what else is most likely growing about pet ownerships? Well, the spending is. So how much is U.S. pet ownership spending, and how does that affect how pet ownership isn't taken to the extreme? Well, this pet spending is a lot. American Pets Product Association, November 2020, found that total U.S. pet expenses is $99 billion in 2020, and it's been going up. And so a breakdown of this $38.4 billion is treats and food, $30.2 billion is vet care, and $19.8 billion is supplies, with more billions following in other miscellaneous categories. PetFoodIndustry.com found on August 17th, 2020, that this amount of spending has stayed level and in some areas gone up throughout the coronavirus pandemic. So this means that in an economic downturn, in a time when Americans are trying to spend or trying to take care of themselves and their family members, and there's not much money to go around, they're still spending the same amount or more on their pets. Fortunely.com on August 11th, 2020 found that 45% of Americans spend equal or more on their pets when compared to themselves when it came to health care and wellness costs. And 10% of American pet owners put off having kids because of expenses that they are carrying due to owning these pets. So this is just a question of U.S. pet ownership is being brought to this extreme because it's interfering with priorities, with spending and saving and economic priorities, but not even that, it's interfering with personal health priorities. Americans aren't spending as much on their own personal health because they're spending the same amount or more on their pets. And so it's just a balance of, yes, pets are wonderful and still spend money on them, but balance with your own personal priorities and your own personal health. So another thing to look at is this spending, ownership. What else can be extreme about U.S. pet ownerships? Well, the types of pets that are owned, and specifically exotic pets. Hornet newspaper, April 13th, 2020, found that the exotic pet industry is a $15 billion underground industry in the United States. And so, of this underground industry, of these types of pets, the most popular is monkeys, followed by lions, tigers, leopards, cougars, along with reptiles like snakes, lizards, and iguanas. And so, these are types of animals that can be harmful to humans, that can be harmful to children and their communities, and they deserve to live in the wild. So U.S. pet ownership is going to the extreme because it's taking these animals and taking them out of their wild habitats where they should be growing and contributing to the world, not a lion locked in a cage. That is U.S. extreme pet ownership at its worst. And then you have CNBC, February 14th, 2014, and other articles normalizing this type of extreme pet ownership and these types of exotic animals that can do harm to animals and communities, and these poor animals just deserve to live in the wild. So definitely a far extreme and downside of extreme pet ownership. So in conclusion, Americans love their pets. They love them too much in a few regards. They, in some instances, maybe have too many pets than they should, especially when they have more than one or two. They spend too much on them, especially when they're spending more than themselves. And Americans have some weird types of pets. So does this mean that we should go knock down the White House door and take one of Joe Biden's 2 German Shepherds? No, German Shepherds are wonderful dogs. But it just overall, in moving forward, the United States needs to analyze this pet ownership and manage these priorities and these balances better to help bring back this issue of extreme pet ownership in the United States because of too many pets, too much spending, and interesting types of pets that deserve to live in the wild. Thank you.